Bad leadership in the business world causes a lot of problems and hinders employee success. But bad leadership in education can be disastrous. A bad boss can destroy the culture, the achievement of students, and the success of teachers. Today, learn how to recognize bad leadership and how you can use that bad experience in your own success as a school leader. Hi, friend. Are you ready to move into a leadership position? Do you have interests and ambitions that you want to pursue, but feel like you don't know how to take that next step? Maybe you want to start your own coaching or consulting agency. I'm Mel, and I help educators define their career path through correct mindset, knowing your options, and getting prepared for your career transition. I will show you how to level up your leadership skills, share your expertise in a new way, create impact on a larger scale, and put your leadership in motion. As an educator for over 20 years, I started to feel underused and like I had more to give. I knew when the time had come for me to leave the classroom and affect change on a larger level. Now, I'm ready to help you determine where your talents and skills mesh with your passions and interests. Put your leadership in motion and move into that next phase of your educational career journey. Let me help you define your career path by having the right mindset, knowing your options, and getting prepared for that next leadership position. So power up and put your leadership in motion. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Dr. Mel Vandevort. If you're on Facebook, you know that occasionally Facebook will send you something that you have posted in the past. It's kind of like your anniversary of that post. Today, I had one pop up that said, I passed my administration test. God is good. Today is not the anniversary of me taking the administration test, but it is the anniversary of me receiving notification that I passed. That was in 2014. I can't believe it's already been 9 years since I passed my administration test and started thinking about a new career in the education field. For me, it was moving into a principal position. That was where I was ready to go, and that was my next step. But that may not be your next step. You're ready to transition from the classroom, but you don't know what options are out there. And let me tell you, I did not know there were so many options for somebody who's ready to leave the classroom. And even though I passed the test and got notification in 2014 that I had passed the test, I did not move out of the classroom for 2 more years. I did not leave the classroom and move into a principal position until 2016. I loved my principal at the time. I also loved my co-teacher. There were 2 of us that taught 6th grade. I was ELA in social studies, and she was science and math, and we had an excellent working relationship. The year that I passed, I just wasn't ready to leave the classroom just yet. The next year, I really started thinking about it, and that's when I started applying toward the middle of that school year, the end of that school year. I really started getting serious and applying for principal positions. My reason wasn't because I had bad leadership. My reason was because I had good leadership, and I wanted to do the same thing that my good leader was doing in her building. My principal created a cohesive and positive school climate where everyone was able to thrive. She made everyone want to be part of her building. And she didn't even have to try. She just was that good. And we just wanted to be under her tutelage. She valued all the stakeholders. That was the community, the teachers, the students, everybody. She created a caring and nurturing environment. She held us all to high standards and had high expectations for everyone. She promoted collegiality and a love of learning. Her good leadership gave me the confidence and the skills and that background knowledge that I needed to be ready to move into a principal position. On the flip side of that, I've had a really bad principal experience and some other really bad school leader experiences. So I just want to ask you today, have you ever had a really bad principal, assistant principal, or superintendent? How do you even know if you've got a bad administrator? There are some traits that you can use to identify a bad school leader. Better Leaders, Better Schools identified 7 signs of a bad principal. Number 1, faculty does not trust each other nor take risks. Number 2, meetings that go nowhere. You're in the meeting, nothing happens. It's a waste of everyone's time. Number 3, there's a lack of meaningful professional development. And you know me, professional development is my passion, and I can't stand wasted time doing professional development that absolutely has no pertinence in your current role. Number 4, there's no clear direction communicating an ideal future. You have no idea where your building is going or what's happening. There's no vision that's being communicated. Number 5, there's a focus on the wrong things. Focusing on those things that absolutely do not matter, like turning in weekly lesson plans. If you have a good principal or assistant principal with a great relationship with them, you are with them communicating on a weekly basis, and they know exactly what's going on in your classroom, and they know if you have good teaching happening in there, and they don't need to see your lesson plans. Number 6, they have trouble separating the personal from the professional. And that can mean a lot of different things. They expect all of your time to be school related, which means sacrificing some of your personal and family time. Or they can't separate their own personal feelings and be professional. So you sometimes feel like you have a target on your back. And number 7, school is no fun for children or adults. If you wake up every day and you absolutely do not want to go to work because you know what is going to happen when you walk in the door and what kind of culture you're walking into on a daily basis, it makes it very difficult to continue in a classroom and be effective. The traits that I just listed of bad leadership can help you learn what not to do and how to be much more effective when you move into a leadership position. If you move into a principal position or an assistant principal position, or even if you move into coaching or consulting. If you're thinking about moving into a principal position, then you can take the traits that you do not find effective, those traits that I just mentioned, plus there are many other traits, and you can leverage those, create an effective entry plan that will help you be successful in your first 30, 60, 90 days and the first full school year that you are in leadership. In the meantime, you have to finish out your contract. So what can you do? You need to understand what's in your control and what is not. Remember, we cannot control how other people act, but we can control how we react. So focus on those things that you can control. And you may have a conversation with that leader. Maybe they don't realize what they're doing. I have a feeling they probably do because no one's that bad without realizing it. At least I hope not. You can start considering what your next school year is going to look like, what your role is going to be, and how you can start preparing for that role right now. I know it's summer and school maybe hasn't started yet, but it is very close. If you're going back into a building where there's bad leadership or into a district where there's bad leadership, start preparing right now for that transition for next year. Do you want to get clear on God's plan for you in this transitional phase of your career? Are you ready to figure out the next steps toward the leadership role you're ready to pursue? Kindred, I know what it feels like to know you are meant for more in your professional calling, but not be sure what God is really calling you to do. You're ready for a new career challenge, but you're just not sure about your options or how to get started. What if you had clarity on your God-given talents and skills and your passions and interests? What if you were able to determine with confidence the steps toward your next professional career outside the classroom? I know what it's like to be under bad leadership and feel undervalued and underutilized. I know what it's like to have a desire to create change on a larger scale, to feel ready to take on a bigger challenge that gives you excitement and fulfillment. There are many reasons that teachers leave the classroom. If you're considering it at all, then your reason is valid. When I was ready to leave the classroom, I didn't know about all the options available for teachers or leaders who are ready to step into a different role or even what steps to take to get there. That's why I created Teacher Transformation Blueprint, where your confidence, passion, and purpose align. Let me teach you to clarify your spiritual gifts and talents, identify your passions or interest areas, and create a plan to move into your next educational career with confidence. You will walk away with a blueprint to determine where your gifts and talents align with your passion and interest and the confidence to pursue your next professional adventure. If you're a teacher who is ready to move into a leadership role, a teacher who is ready to retire but wants to continue on a different educational career path, or a leader who is ready to try out something different but stay in the educational field, let me help you create a plan to get you there. Now that you're ready to empower yourself with confidence and clarity, email me at empowerededucator@gmail.com and put Teacher Transformation in the subject line. I will be in contact with you as soon as possible. Or click the Teacher Transformation Empowerment link in the show notes and schedule your complimentary Teacher Transformation session now. Don't let another school year of unfulfilled dreams pass you by. Take the first step toward a career change and schedule your empowerment session today.